Recently, Bishop Barron has expressed concern about the Latin Mass becoming mainstream, and I have noticed that as well whenever I did some recent YouTube browsing. So if you have watched some of the Catholic YouTube channels, you may have recognized the name Cameron O'Hearn. He is producing a video called Mass of the Ages. It's about the Latin Mass. He was interviewed by Taylor Marshall and several other people. So Cameron O'Hearn has a YouTube channel, and he interviewed Scott Hahn. Now, if you're Catholic, you probably recognize the name Scott Hahn, and you've probably read at least one of his books. In this interview, Dr. Scott Hahn said he frequently attends the Latin Mass, and he talked about how much he really likes the Latin Mass. This is massive for the Latin Mass community, because Scott Hahn is one of the most famous Catholics. I would probably put him in the top 10 of Catholics in the United States. Cameron O'Hearn also appeared on the Catholic Talk Show video about the Latin Mass. Now, the Catholic Talk Show is kind of like a mainstream Novus Ordo Catholic channel. They have 40,000 subscribers, so they're pretty big. The title of the video was, "Is the Latin Mass Better Than the Novus Ordo?" And a Novus Ordo priest is one of the show hosts, so I expected them to say, no, the Latin Mass and the Novus Ordo are pretty good. One's the ordinary form, one's the extraordinary form, so it's whatever you prefer. But several of these people, including the Novus Ordo priest, said that yes, the Latin Mass is better, is superior to the Novus Ordo. I was really surprised that they would say that, but I think this highlights what I'm saying. The Latin Mass is becoming more mainstream and people are taking notice of it. Even if you talk to people at the Novus Ordo, most of them have at least heard the Latin Mass. Several of them have gone to a Latin Mass, and even if they did not particularly like the Latin Mass, if they're Catholic, meaning they're not repulsed by anything Catholic, like holy water, these people will say that there were certain elements of the Latin Mass that could be adopted into the Novus Ordo that would make the Novus Ordo better, such as altar rails, communion on the tongue, sacred music. So we need people like Cameron O'Hearn. Even though I disagree with some of the things that he says that Vatican II wasn't implemented as the Council Fathers intended. I disagree with that statement, but I think that's fine if we disagree on things like that. Cameron has said he attends the Latin Mass, and I think we definitely need people like that to promote the Latin Mass in a positive way without trashing the Novus Ordo. And so far, it's working, much to the disappointment of Bishop Barron, who held an anti-Latin Mass meeting among different media groups. The media groups included America Magazine, whose editor is Father James Martin, Catholic News Agency, who's owned by EWTN, Catholic News Service, who is owned by the USCCB, Crux Now, and Our Sunday Visitor. Crux Now is basically partnered with Word on Fire, and they have released some opinion articles that were heretical. They promoted the Pachamama worship. But the problem is people are not buying Bishop Barron's attempts to paint himself as a traditionalist. Maybe when he went to Mundelein Seminary in Chicago under Bernardine, maybe he was the most traditionalist seminarian there in the seminary, but that still doesn't make him a traditionalist. Taylor Marshall said that the end goal of people like Bishop Barron may be to paint anyone who disagrees with anything that Vatican II or Pope Francis says as a schismatic. And I think it might come to that, because Bishop Barron is losing control of the narrative. His collaboration with these different media organizations, including the heretical ones, shows that he wants to control the narrative. It goes along with Bishop Barron's statement that he made in January of 2020 that there should be some authority in the Catholic Church, like the bishops should approve Catholic media outlets. And I have a video coming out about this. Stay tuned, we're going to talk about the different Catholic media outlets and Bishop Barron's rating scale.